and you're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
And tonight with us, we have a very special guest. I want to welcome, and everyone in the Geek Nation, welcome Corban from Comet Playground joining us tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank
you. Welcome, sir. Welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you all for the opportunity. I appreciate it here.
And the dog says hello, too.
Oh, wow. I got some love from the dog. That's what's up.
She hears people clapping, and she thinks it's time to bark.
There it is. Party time.
She thinks it's time.
So,
all right. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Captain Marvel. Let's just start it off.
Hold on.
No, I want to
hold on. I'm gonna let. I figured I'd be nice.
We're live.
Let our guest explain about his podcast a little bit and why he's here and what they do. The courtesy.
It looks like he gets minute 15. So let's do this.
See, I appreciate that. I really do. Okay, I mean, I'm here, objective, have a little fun with you guys. Definitely love never reaching out and meeting. I mean, come on, a whole new Geek Nation in Phoenix. That's amazing. A little bit about myself with Comet Playground. Podcast we've been doing for a while, a couple months now. Frank Caliendo and some friends want to run by him. Just personally got Joe Newcomer, Adonis Blake, Zach Coleman. Got our bro Donnie. He's the star of the show. You guys will love that. And we meet up every week, podcast out. Also on video, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, dropping stuff on. We did a Captain Marvel review yesterday. So that was cool. We do one every week. The various topics in nerddom. So with this weekend, video game history, comic history, we'll do some nice recaps, some character development, fun little spur of the moment kind of nerd games that are hilarious. They always descend to chaos, but I love them because they start off with such high hopes, and it's great. So at Comet Playground, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. It's a lot of fun, and again, we're just happy to meet y'all, and who knows what comes out of that.
How long have you guys been getting together for?
Okay, so they're gonna kill me for this. I can't even tell you a concrete time. I feel like we've been meeting. We have 14, 15, I would say a solid 2 months, 2.5 months. So how we all met was so funny because I met Frank through a mutual friend at a comic book store, and the first time that the podcast came up, I was in the area checking out some books, and it kind of came from there. So over time, we kind of added a little bit of a cast, and I mean, we now have a nice studio, nice little setup there, courtesy of Frank. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, it feels like it's been so much longer. It's one of those things that you're like, wow, 15 episodes. I could have thought we did like a lot more, but I guess that's the fun of it all. Every time we come up, have a blast, good hour and change. Always try to keep it, succinct and a straight line, and we just end up having a whole lot of fun and going way over our time.
Oh, I remember when we first started and we used to do stuff like that.
After 400 episodes, I wish I had a cool studio to broadcast from.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not. You see my humble background, but hey, it's still fun. You do what we can. All right. I'm actually admiring. I can't see the name, but there's a bunch of long boxes behind you.
Yeah, Brian.
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm very envious of that. I have 3 creative graphic novels. So
now that we know that you're in the valley, or basically in the valley, we're gonna have to get together, and you're gonna have to come over one day and rummage through some books.
Hey, that I will take you up on an offer, good sir. But thanks again, guys. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
All right, Brian. Well, we're happy to have you on the show, Corban, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. So now, Mr. Impatient, go ahead.
Let's do it. I want to hear it. I haven't even seen the movie yet, but I'm okay with spoilers because I'm gonna enjoy it no matter what. So
I think I'm gonna go see it after we're done tonight.
I've seen it twice now. Twice.
I'm mad. I've seen it fucking twice.
Yep, that's right.
God, somebody's got to be the topper.
I do.
But
Look,
did
a friend of theirs
rent out the theater?
No, they did not. I don't have a Frank Caliendo to rent out a theater for me.
Okay.
Was the theater sold out?
Awesome.
No, it was. Well, I mean, it was like a movie theater, like one. It wasn't the whole Harkins, obviously, but yeah, it was a nice group. We had we had a contest. We had some lucky winners come on board. Great family. We met them. They were able to catch it with us. Brought some friends and family, or in myself, I brought myself. It was a nice little kind of cozy theater atmosphere. Able to watch the movie. It was it's a good thing when you're with educated moviegoers where after the Marvel movie, if you're in general, you see like let's say a quarter of them leave right when the movie ends.
Yes.
And then you're like one of those people that are sitting there nodding your head like, yeah, we stayed through the first one, we stayed through, and not only one, but two, but the whole crew knew. And that was like the first time I was like, all right, cool, I see you. Like, we're all in this lingo. You would think after 10 years of Marvel movies that we'd all get the collective drift, but there's always a segment, in this case a majority, that don't seem to understand that there's after credit scene. So that was something I noticed. It was just a fun experience. How
long was the movie?
Like an hour and some change.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't quite. Yeah, it's not gonna be the 3-hour adventure that Endgame
was. Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I would say about that.
All right, so let's hear it. Did it do it justice? I mean, I know I've heard about all the mid '90s love, and that's when a lot of us grew up, and
that's what got me. Like when I saw it last night, I was like, this movie's incredible. I was like, it's not better than Infinity War, but it's right up there. And then as I sat back and thought about it, I was like, is it really that good, or am I just being sucked in by the nostalgia of it? And I was like, as I thought about it more, I was like, it's the 90s nostalgia. It's got to be. So I went and saw it again today after work, and it's not a terrible movie, but it's not the best Marvel movie either.
I have to agree. I mean, I don't have the benefit of having nostalgia to kick in on that, except for Blockbuster. I noticed the Blockbuster. That was cool. But yeah, I came in with lower expectations, and then they kind of rose as I watched, although it kind of crested after a while. I thought, okay, maybe the development of Captain Marvel herself, Carol Danvers, wasn't going to be as focused on. And obviously the story was different from the comics. So I figured that'd have some of a play. And the lost in the shuffle would be, Brie Larson's performance as her. And that it would just be more of, I don't know, a theme, if that made any sense. And so I saw like, okay, she wasn't a total stiff. She was laughing. There was moments of humor. It wasn't, there was an actual arc. She was discovering herself. I got it. And then I think, there was some scenes, the space battle scenes, where it was a lot of, it felt very Star Trek-esque, very Star Wars-esque a little bit there for me. And the fight scenes as well, where I was like, wow, when you make a character so
powerful,
yeah, that there's nothing that can actually stand in her way. And I don't even think Marvel really tried to make a compelling villain. You know what I mean? Like, I think most of the arc and most of the, I guess, antagonist was of an emotional sense,
Yeah, and here's the kind of hard thing about it, and this is, I guess, a good thing that I haven't seen it to say this. We know, most of us know, at least us comic geeks know, that they're setting her up to be the person that has enough power to stand up against Thanos. So whoever she takes off against in this movie is not even going to hold a candle to who she's going to face in Endgame, right? So was the villain or the villains, did that hold this movie at all, or was it all just about setting her up?
Well, I think the villains, it was mostly about setting her up, but there's a twist, and I can't give away the twist. And I don't know if Corban will agree with me. I can't give away to the twist of the movie without ruining the movie. Like with the big twist that happens with what you think is going to happen when you're looking at the trailer,
it's Nick Fury loses his eye.
Well, yeah,
that's honestly when you said it. But I know what you were going for, but it could also work for that too.
Son of a gun.
So many red herrings.
But there's a big twist with that I think will
I think the obvious thing that everybody's been talking about is Nick Fury a Skrull?
No.
Okay, good. Thank God, because that would have been freaking stupid.
This movie is in the spotlight so heavy right now because it's marred by controversy, whether you're for it or you're against what's going on with the message of the movie. There's two sides to it, and it's just surrounded in this controversy that's all over the news right now. And I personally think that if you're a hardcore comic book fan and you're going into this movie already looking for it to fail, and then you get to this twist, you're going to absolutely hate it, and you're going to trash it all over the place.
Really? The twist is that bad?
It's different.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Mm-hmm. No, I see exactly where you're going with that. I'm even worse at hiding spoilers than you, so I won't say
anything about it. I'm trying to dance around it without giving it away for people that are in the chat or watching this live.
Everybody's seen it, so let us know. It's been out for like a week.
No, because it's going to get ruined. It literally, the moment you figure this out, it ruins the movie.
Yeah, then I don't want to know it. I'm glad you're not saying it. If it's that bad,
I'm trying to dance around it without giving it away. But But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I actually went, oh man, that's a good way or a different way to use that or look at that. But yeah, I can't give it away without ruining the movie.
Okay. Did one of the things that I was looking forward to is the Jude Law performance. Is he in it at all?
Jude Law is in it quite a bit, yes.
Okay, good. And does he play a good, the original Captain Marvel? Does he?
He is not the original Captain Marvel.
He is not.
He is not. No.
Do they have the original Captain Marvel in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
But
good.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of my biggest problems, is because I'm such a fan of the original Captain Marvel that I wanted them to at least do that somewhat justice. And
well, I mean, okay. Again, this is I guess in a line of twists. Would you guys all agree? Those who watch the movie, that they have the Captain Marvel in it, like it's somewhat of the traditional form. Like when I'm recapping in my head, like okay, I see what the comic book said. I know that line. And then I see what the movie did. And like, yes, it worked, but also the twist, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. They did a really interesting job with that. Brief aside, Jude Law, I think every scene he was in, he definitely kind of stole it to me. I really enjoyed his performance.
I like Jude Law. I've always liked Jude Law. I've always thought he was a really cool actor. And he did a good job in most of the stuff he's in. We saw so little of him in the previews and the trailers and whatnot. So
I think the best way I can describe it without ruining it is, have you seen the movie Saw?
No.
Okay. Well, basically through Saw, this entire movie, some dude's laying there dead on the floor, and you think he's dead the entire time. And the very last minutes of the movie, he gets up off the floor.
Oh yes,
and walks out. And that's kind of that kind of related to what happens in Captain Marvel to me, is like you're expecting one thing and then it curves and you're like, oh shit, like it kind of takes you by surprise, and then you're either gonna like it or you're gonna absolutely hate it.
Yeah. Well, that's good that the twist actually worked and nobody figured it out. That's good. I like that.
Is it the twist that she's wearing a Nine Inch Nails shirt?
She is, and
the
90s.
I'm so stoked. Oh,
and
I'm so stoked for that.
And that's what got me too, is like the soundtrack is really good, and it's 90s grunge. When she has the big fight scene, they start playing "I'm Just a Girl" by No Doubt.
Oh
wow!
And then they're playing Nirvana, and they play Hole, and they start playing all this 90s grunge music throughout the movie. So it's like the nostalgia got me the first time. And I was like, man, this is incredible.
I like that they picked Elastica to put on it. Like, that band is a band you haven't heard since the 90s, and I think that's awesome that they put it on the soundtrack. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of cool when a soundtrack is that good that it makes you talk about it. A movie that comes to mind for me is when I was growing up, is Dazed and Confused. That movie to me was so fucking good, but the soundtrack was just as good. So, and it was kind of the same thing where it was all 70s era stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out if the soundtrack thing, everybody else enjoys it.
I think it's the one thing I think is kind of funny about Marvel movies, though, is as these standalone movies or the single character movies comes out, it kind of reshuffles the chronological order you would watch these movies in. Because now it's like you would go from watching, if you want to watch it chronologically through events, you'd probably watch it like Captain America, the first Avenger, then Captain Marvel, and then Iron Man.
So here's a quick question, because this comes up all the time. Obviously, it's not better than Avengers, right? Is it better, or does it stand up to Black Panther? Because I think Black Panther, to me, is that second movie in the tier 2 Avengers, right? For me, Black Panther was the best movie until Avengers came out. Is this as good as Black Panther?
Ooh.
What do you think?
That's a tough question.
Yeah, it's so wanted to be. Like, I definitely feel like in all of it, the pushing, like it had the potential. I mean, in being, in this case, by putting it back in 95 and kind of having a story that wasn't, I mean, it was world threatening, but it also really wasn't, I guess, in a sense. It was more self-contained, just like Black Panther was. But I don't know. There's too many knots for me. I thought if we compare like the actual story, the two main characters, I think the antagonist, Black Panther, wins by a mile. I mean, that's my own personal opinion, of course, and probably scientific. I actually love that movie. I enjoyed Captain Marvel. I mean, it wasn't like Thor: Dark World 2, like Thor 2: Dark World. Like it wasn't. I don't know if it was like that great, but again, I'd love to hear what y'all think. I don't know.
I think that at least the way I was looking to it, and again, not seeing the movie, I guess it's hard to have this conversation, but the way I was looking at it was Black Panther was so good to me because it opened up this new world, and Wakanda is such an amazing setting, and even though it's not a new world, it is a new world, right? And it opened up this huge new setting, and I was really looking forward to Captain Marvel opening up the cosmic world even more than Guardians did, and I guess it didn't do that, right?
I mean, I think it establishes the cosmic world. Like you already see, like you see in this movie, you see Ronan, you see like everything that happens before Guardians 1.
So does Ronan show up in this movie?
Yes, he is in the movie.
Awesome.
And it just builds on what Guardians has already established. There's not, I mean, you see some other worlds, but it's not like as space driven or galactic driven as maybe Guardians is.
Do we see any of the Nova Corps?
No.
That's interesting.
Chad in the chat says, I think your dog just took a dump behind you.
She did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's because
she's I'm used to that though, so it's no big deal. She did it.
I'm surprised your dog's not just laying there sleeping because you gave her medicine.
Yeah, she's not stoned yet. I just gave her her Rick Simpson oil dose right before I sat down. So.
So it hasn't kicked in yet.
It hasn't kicked in yet. Probably in 15 minutes it'll kick in.
My personal opinion, I think it's hard. It's a hard comparison to make to Black Panther. I liked Black Panther. I say no only because Black Panther had such a solid villain.
Yes,
but the twist in Captain Marvel is enough to keep it right there.
God
with it.
Damn! What is this twist?
Yeah, don't give it away.
Go see the movie. Yeah. I'm not gonna give it away. Go see the movie.
Yeah,
Brian, let's go see it.
I'm down. It's definitely not tonight though, man. I'm gonna be too stoned after this show. So I took a heroic dose. Let me tell you.
No. So that means Brian's gonna be shutting his camera off soon.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good. I'm glad that at least people are talking about it, and it's it hasn't bombed. I was really worried it's gonna bomb.
Well, I think it still might. If you look at Rotten Tomatoes, it still might.
It's already beat Batman versus Superman.
The funny part is like last time I looked. Let me look again. Like last time I looked. It was like the critics were like 80% and the fans were at like 30%.
I think that's just the ultimate troll now is to go on to Rotten Tomatoes and to crash it. Like we've talked about before, like that site now means zero to me.
It's going up now. Now it's at 79% fresh with a 41% audience rating. So
yeah, that audience rating is going to continue to be skewed because of the silliness.
I think people, you know what, it's right along the lines of Bodie McBodie face. Because they have the ability to fuck it up, people fuck it up.
Yeah.
So I think that's all it is. Because if you go on and truly read what people are fucking reading on like Facebook and Twitter and everything, everybody's giving it anywhere from a 7.5 to 8.5. Everybody is giving it. It's a good movie. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Everybody's giving it the same review. So if everybody's giving it about the same review, that means it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
but don't get me wrong. If I scored an 85 out of test, I'd be fucking stoked, man. That's a B plus.
That's a strong B plus.
Yeah. So I mean, if people are giving Captain Marvel an 8.5, now I know I already wanted to see it, but if you average it out, people are liking it. So fuck, what the trolls are doing to fucking to the website.
Well, it's not even trolls. You have people in the industry shitting all over it. Like, look at Ethen Van Schiver.
They can.
Ethen Van Schiver coming out and saying that Captain Marvel is shit, the character is shit and that the internet is full of unwashed weirdos.
Yeah, that's Van Schiver's an ultimate troll. I mean, he's that exact crowd that started this whole silliness. And I hate to say it because I'm such a Van Schiver fan. I'm such a fan of his art, but he really has become that far right, mindset, enough to where he's basically left the level of the comic artist that he is, because he's put himself in that hole, in that far right hole, and he's literally had to go to Kickstarter to continue his art. So I think that guy's opinion is kind of just as skewed as the rest of the ridiculousness.
I mean, all of this over some comments about saying that Brie Larson was tired of seeing the same middle-aged white dudes and all of her, interviewing her for all her movies, and that she wanted, minorities or women to interview her. Like,
variety is the spice of life.
Shame on her for that, right?
Yeah.
Don't boycott that movie for that, right?
For real.
I mean, you know what? You get the same point of view from the same people. It gets old. I could see where she's coming from. Something fresh, something new, something different. I mean, you can only been asked the same 6 questions before you're tired of hearing it. Let's see it from a different perspective, a different point of view, a different person. Like, I would get tired of hearing shit from the same 5 people too. Just like, look at your bosses. Fuck you 5 guys. I want to hear something different. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give people a chance. You never know what they're going to do to surprise you. So,
well, very good. Very cool. Hopefully, it will cause more people to go out and buy my 2 copies of Avenging Spider-Man #9.
There was
that are on eBay, the Collecting Days store on eBay, DAZE. Shameless plug.
Wow. We're just gonna have to go over there and mute Brian now.
Yeah, no, like, look, he's like all over the place. Like, I can't even let our guest give out his, let people know about him. Let's talk about Captain Marvel. Let's do this. Like, he's ready to go, and now he's shamelessly plugging himself.
I gotta sell, guys.
He's trying to transition to sell books. And if you order from Brian's store, he'll give you free shipping.
Terrible.
He'll also throw in a sketch off Kyle's wall of your choice.
Yeah.
Buy 3, get 3 free. All you gotta do is just mention this podcast.
Yes.
So while we were talking about that back a little while ago, Chad asked in the chat, what's your guys' favorite Marvel movie?
Whew. Mine's gonna blow you guys away, and I've talked about it before with Matt, so I'll let you guys go ahead and answer before I answer.
Mine right now, hands down, is Infinity
Marvel.
War. No, Infinity War.
Iron Man 1 is still mine, man. It's fucking awesome.
Okay, I mean, I get a lot of trash for this. Marvel, Sony, same. We're counting, right? Same property. Is that agreed upon?
Yeah,
I'll give it to you. Yeah,
You allow it?
I'm going. Yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
I loved Spider-Man 2, but Homecoming beat it out for me.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. See, okay, fun. Okay, we've been doing a poll on Comic Playground about who's the best Spider-Man. And so last week it was Garfield versus Holland, and then this week is going to be Holland obviously won the landslide. It's going to be Holland versus Maguire. And I liked Homecoming. I did. I love his performance, but I don't know. Maybe it's because there's so much of an Iron Man element or an Avengers element into what I think should be more like a self-contained Spider-Man story, or maybe I just don't like Tom Holland compared to Tobey Maguire. Nostalgia in my case. But
here's how I break that down. Tobey Maguire, good Peter Parker, terrible Spider-Man.
Yeah,
all right, Andrew Garfield, good Spider-Man, terrible Peter Parker.
Yes.
Also,
Then you have Tom Holland, who is the perfect mixture of both.
Yes, I agree.
That's usually how I break it down.
And he's got that sarcasm. He has that that kid-like feel to him, but he's still got that arrogance of him that he can fucking do whatever needs to be done. I don't know. He mixes them both very well.
So my favorite all-time Marvel movie is X-Men First Class.
I still don't get. I don't consider that a Marvel movie.
You see, that's why I had to ask.
Brian,
Marvel
I love
property.
that.
I mean, for Marvel, I don't know. That's not even right. Marvel property, but it counts, right?
I fucking love that movie.
I'll count
It's
it.
fucking. It's fantastic. It's a. I agree with you, Brian. Fucking. It's a fucking fantastic movie. I've probably seen it like 37 times. I watch it every time it's on. I stop and I watch it. It's fucking great.
The casting was perfect for that movie. Absolutely perfect.
For First Class?
Yes. Oh. Dude, Magneto was amazing. The young Magneto was perfect. James McAvoy, I didn't like it at first, but after I saw the movie,
he fucking nails it.
Yeah, he nails it. Jennifer
Lawrence.
If you would have said X2, I'd be like, all right, I'll give it to you. But First Class?
First Class is fucking dope, man.
Yeah. And then I even to add on that, X-Men Days of Future Past is just underneath that. There's only a few things that make Days of Future Past.
I think you've smoked too much. I think you've smoked way too much.
No, we've talked about it 100 times.
Your heroic dab was way too much because
Days of Future Past was so fucking good, man. The way they married the two through Wolverine. And yes, I understand Matt's problem with it, that it didn't match the comic book. But so many movies nowadays can't match the comic book because the comic books were written in a different time, right?
I don't care if you match the comic book, but don't start giving people powers they've never had. Like, how are you going to start giving Kitty Pryde powers she's never had? Like, come on, man. Yeah, in any continuity. Like, come on, man. Like, if you're gonna
that happens in tons of comic movies.
If introduce Rachel Summers already, like, stop with the BS. The X-Men movies are just terrible, dude.
I love that movie. I just don't like Ellen Page as that role.
I was gonna say guilty pleasure in mine was X-Men Last Stand. If it's on, I'm watching it. I don't care how bad it is, critically, anything. That's like Brian. As much as you defend First Class, I will fall on the sword for The Last Stand, even seeing all the problems in front of my face.
Yeah. Well,
they're not. We've already established a million times. They're not. They're great movies. They're not terrific comic book movies, but they're great movies based very loosely on comic books.
Yes.
They're not. They're good. They're good movies in a sense. They're terrible comic book movies. They're horrible X-Men movies.
Okay, I got one for you. I'm gonna blow your guys' mind even more. I fucking loved Fantastic Four #2 for one fucking reason.
Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Yes, because Silver Surfer was so fucking badass in that movie. Silver Surfer saved that movie for me. That Silver Surfer in that movie was so badass in that movie, and Silver Surfer is one of my top 5 favorite characters. And that movie, the rest of that movie was complete dog shit, but Silver Surfer was so badass. When he first comes in that movie and they're trying to fight him and stop him and everything, he is so fucking badass in that movie. And everything else to me how bad everything else is in that movie didn't get ruined because of how good Silver Surfer was. And that shows me, and that's what pisses me off so bad, that Silver Surfer is such a great fucking character, and that's why I'm so hoping that this cosmic universe thing that they got going on is just a way for them to bring back Silver Surfer. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I forgot that was a very strong performance. Now that you bring it up again, every time he saw who was in the scene, it was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie, you're right. Gosh.
Yeah, terrible. The whole Galactus thing was terrible.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I get it. Galactus as a character, in all honesty, isn't really that smart. He's kind of silly. This big, huge, giant guy with this, tuning fork on his head isn't
and
really.
You like First Class, or I mean, you like Days of Future Past, where the Sentinels are like dog shit.
I like the Sentinels in that.
The original ones look good, but the futuristic ones are like dog shit.
No, I like
the futuristic ones. I thought it was creepy.
So
it was just right
I thought they were really creepy. Yeah.
No, it wasn't traditional at all.
And here's the other thing about Days of Future Past. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart killed it in that.
Yes.
They did such a great job in that. I think that was, other than Logan, that was Patrick Stewart's best role as Professor X. to me. You know, them getting together and realizing how bad things are, and the way they married the two realities was great.
Yeah,
I thought.
No, they did a good job on it.
Nightcrawler's my favorite X-Men. So if you want to ask me what X-Men movie I like most, it's going to be X2.
Yeah, they've really ruined though the way they do Nightcrawler in the movies, in my opinion. And I agree with you. He's one of the best characters. A lot of people don't like Nightcrawler. That's really weird that he's your favorite. He's your favorite X-Men.
He's my favorite X-Men.
I like that. I think that's cool. I think Nightcrawler's got a great backstory later on. The way they retconned his backstory, I thought his original backstory was kind of cheesy, but the way they kind of retconned it, I really liked it. So,
but I've always been a fan of more of the low key superheroes. That's like why Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Is everybody, you know, he's just like everyday man. But you have like, I don't like Superman, and I don't like all these like super overpowered broken dudes.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a perfect way for me to, you know, ask this question. Corban, what are you into? What are your favorite characters? What are you reading? What do you got going on there?
So I'm very much, I mean, I've been exploring and venturing out, but very much Marvel, very much DC, like straight up. Anything in those, that's me. Favorite superheroes, Batman and Spider-Man. I mean, see the poster behind me, that's Spider-Man. I love him for the relatability, but also the rogues gallery. And that same line of thought is what influences my liking Batman.
Yeah.
But I'll watch the other ones. I mean, Superman's not high on my list, but he's someone I'm, you know, obviously up to speed on. All sorts of characters. So across the spectrum there between X-Men and or not X-Men, I'm thinking X-Men, between Marvel and DC, that's where I'm at. So we're getting to different properties now. I've read some Dark Horse, some other, you know, comic book stuff, but I'm definitely a classic Marvel DC guy.
What is your opinion on the state of Marvel Comics currently?
The comics, I'm not. I mean, I think, was it them or DC that had a problem with oversaturation? That was probably DC.
Both.
That was okay. Good. Yeah. Well,
it's like 60% Marvel, 40% DC.
There you go. Yeah, and I just don't. I mean, you have 4 different, like you said. I think it was 5 different Spider-Man titles. Different thing of that. Batman, the same thing. Now, just on Marvel specifically, I don't like, and I guess this for me, I guess I'm critical of just the organization at the top on how it's structured. That you have so many different spinning storylines, and I haven't liked the last couple of comic book events that have come up. I feel like they've all been flat. And then, not that they're directly related to the movies, but then you have the movies that are taking off of these key stories that don't seem to hold very much continuity. And I get some of that, but at the same time, that's squarely in your wheelhouse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think you have some control over that. And the fact that you're giving yourself a lot more creative liberty between the movies and the books. And because you're such a powerful powerhouse in the movie field, the book quality it's just not as great anymore to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny because I think that right now, when it comes to the both big houses, Marvel is killing it in the movies and the TV shows, and dog shit in the comic world, and DC is killing it in the comic world and dog shit in the movies and the TV.
I think you get that mixed up.
No. I mean, I will give DC's Doom Patrol. I mean, I've only watched a couple episodes so far. Great for DC Universe. I was not a fan of Titans at all. So
you didn't like Titans?
Right there with you. No, I figured it was just way too. I mean, it was just, I guess, the theme. Like, it was dark to me, like needlessly dark in a way. I mean, Robin inheriting his darkness. Like, one of the big things about Robin and Dick Grayson was that he left Batman because Batman was too dark. Like, you turn it on his head.
Yeah, this is great that you're saying that, because Matt will love this. I said the exact same thing the first episode. I did not like it because I thought Robin was too dark. As I watched it, I thought that the Titans, to me, when it comes to DC and Marvel TV properties, Titans is by far the best TV property. I could not believe how good it was. And the darkness that darkness turn really blew me away. And here's the other thing. I was so worried, and I think that we were all kind of this way. We thought that Starfire was going to be dog shit. We thought that the way that the person who they casted her with, the way that they played her out, she just didn't feel like Starfire in the previews. Starfire was my favorite. Probably her and Dick Grayson were my favorite characters about that thing. That actress killed that role. She did such a great job. The writing of it was amazing, and it really goes to show you that Jeff Johns is an amazing writer. He really did a good job with that. And
I like the kid they got playing Garfield.
Yes, man, they just did so good. The only thing that I don't like and that I didn't like since episode 1 was Raven seems too young to me. She's just a little too young. She just got to be a little bit older. That's the only thing. But everything else about that show was just mind blowing.
Well, where I said
the Batman being so digital, I didn't like it.
Where I said you got it wrong is that Marvel TV shows aren't the greatest. Like they're killing it in the movies for sure, but if you're going TV shows, I give that to DC as a win. Because look at the show, look at all the well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't really been that great since like season 1. I mean, they're already canceling the X-Men show at Legion on FX.
I thought Legion was great.
It was a fantastic show.
You've got the one that's on Fox still, but when you look at DC Comics, man, they've got Arrow, Flash, bringing in Batwoman,
but they're getting rid of all those.
Arrow. No, they're all
Arrow's cheesy.
Arrow's ending, but Flash
Legends
and
of
all
Tomorrow is ending.
Well,
Tomorrow's gone.
They're bringing back Constantine, though, right?
He's in Legends right now.
But they're gonna. I just read something the other day where they're gonna bring back a role for him as the main character in his own show and use the same actor. So hopefully
they're talking about it.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do it on the streaming universe, or maybe that's the Justice League Dark type stuff they're doing. Because I know they're doing Swamp Thing. So
yeah, but you got Arrow, Flash, Batwoman coming to CW, Black Lightning, and then now they're bringing in. Terrible. That's actually a lot of people love that show. It actually the first season was pretty good.
I didn't like it.
And then then you got Titans. Doom Patrol is killing it on the DC streaming network right now. Then they're bringing in Swamp Thing, and then
Swamp Thing's gonna be great. I hope it's gonna be great.
What else are they bringing in? There's so much stuff they're bringing into the Stargirl to the DC streaming universe.
Harley Quinn, with what's the name? Forgot her name, but Big Bang Theory.
That Stargirl is gonna be
Kylie
heavy.
Kylie Coca or something like that. What's her name? What's her name, Kyle?
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah. So I actually be like an adult kind of thought comedy type deal, which I'm actually kind of excited for, to be honest.
Well, we could talk about that. Like, I honestly think their next big fall thing, and I like the way DC's doing it, is, Stephen Amell came to them and said, look, I think my time as Arrow is up. I want to move on to other things. I've got a family now. I want to do other things. They've been doing it for 7 seasons now. And, they're going to do 10 episodes next season that lines up perfectly. Next year's big crossover event is Crisis on Infinite Earths. Lines up perfectly with that. I think Oliver Queen's going to die. I think he's going to go out and he's going to die in Crisis. And that's what's going to restructure the DC CW shows. But they're going to bring Batwoman in its place. So I'm okay with that.
It's going to be great.
So hyped for that.
Yeah, so am I. I'm really looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. I think the girl that they got cast for her is perfect.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
I love the theme music too for her.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was just the right amount. I'm all in on that. That was exciting.
I'm just really kind of bummed because I never liked Arrow, so I'm good with that canceling. I always thought that was so cheesy. I thought Arrow was beyond cheesy. Flash was unreal, but I'm a little tired of him always facing a speedster villain. I know
faced a speedster in like 2 seasons.
Yeah, but they're bringing the next one's going to be another speedster.
Godspeed's legit though, dude. Like he's like next level legit.
Yeah, because that means I wonder if they're going to bring in that whole accident that makes all the speedsters. So it's going to be like the season of speedsters because Barry's going to be trying to train them, and then Godspeed's going to be killing them to take their power. And I mean, if they do that, it's going to be an insane season.
But they've already done that. They did that the first 4 seasons. You know what I mean? I'm tired of that. And I thought that the Dark Zoom, was so damn good. that they should have just ended it with that being the last speedster that he faced off. That character, to me, that Flash season with the Black Flash was the best DC TV show other than Titans out there.
Flash just gave you Gorilla Grodd versus King Shark, man.
That was great. Yeah, I'll give you that. That was cool. They should use Gorilla Grodd more. Gorilla Grodd is a great character. Great character.
I think all that's just budgeting. All that's just budget because that's a lot of CGI.
And the other thing that pissed me off is killing Captain Cold. Captain Cold was, especially the casting of Captain Cold, that actor, that Captain Cold was such a great character. They should bring him back. They should have never.
And he's such an awesome character anyway.
Yes.
Like he should have always been one of those characters that kind of come and go.
Yeah, there's a reason that people say that Flash's Rogues Gallery rivals Batman's Rogues Gallery. You know what I mean?
Because Flash's is awesome.
Yeah,
it's diverse too. Yeah,
it's very diverse. Yeah.
I mean, just because CW just uses all speeds, well, obviously the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people there. Where do you guys rank? And I might have missed in the earlier part, but Gotham. I know they're starting Pennyworth, which I'm not really.
I think it's terrible. I think it had the ability to be good.
Yes, and it kind of triggered. Once it got past, I think Gotham was really good, and then once it was a season of the villains.
Yeah.
Once it left the season of the villains, Gotham really took a dive, and it was really hard to stay in it.
And that kid's a terrible actor, and Jada Pinkett Smith's character was cheesy.
You don't like Fish Mooney?
No. I thought she was so
but she died in season 2?
No love for Fish. Okay.
They got rid of her in season 2 though, so
she was good when they had her back after the death. That was the only time I liked her.
That's true. I mean, I like this past year what like the fan service that they're giving with, even if it's not real. Like I know they had the mutant. Well, he wasn't the mutant, but he looked like the mutant from Frank Miller's Batman Returns or The Dark Knight Returns. That was a cool segment to see. I don't like the way they're putting Bane in. That's weird to me. But they're like throwing everything at you. They mixed in No Man's Land. They're mixing all the Batman storylines before they end it. And it's just so weird that all this happens before Batman. And I've never gotten over that I guess hump. It's never appealed to me. Even now watching Jeremiah, who I guess for all intents and purposes is the Joker, Battle Bruce at Ace Chemicals. Like you're just messing with the whole.
Well, they had it. They had Cameron's character of the Joker nailed like 2 seasons ago, and then they killed him. And then there's like, oh fuck, we have to try to figure out how to bring him back. So we're gonna bring him back as his brother, and we're gonna do this. And then they did all this weird shit when they could have just kept him. And if they thought that maybe they needed to use him differently, just bring him back or have a different storyline. But to kill him in the season and then to bring him back, like what was it, like 2 seasons later? It's just fucking weird.
And I think they tried to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was saying the fact that they were so, I mean, in this case, Jeremiah and Bruce were so intertwined. I mean, the thing about Batman is when Batman first encountered the Joker, that event happened. That sparked their relationship adversarially over the years. They weren't like lifelong friends. And you know what I mean? I like it, I guess, is something in an angle that we can use, but it hasn't been. So it's just, this is weird.
I will say that one thing about Gotham that I really like is Alfred. I think that's him and Michael Caine are the 2 best Alfreds. But sorry, Matt, go ahead.
You don't like Jeremy Ironsides as Gotham?
No.
Or I mean, as Gotham as Pennyworth?
No.
I did.
I was trying to watch Gotham last night, and the only reason I kept watching it because the medical examiner, the chick from Deadpool, she was in that episode, and she's so hot. So like, I just like it was this whole episode where Jim was shot and he was dying but coming back, and he was going through all these visions, and she was like there to like protect him and to hold him and stuff. And she's just so hot that no matter what she's in, you just have to watch. And that's the only reason I watched as much of it as I did, because I was just like, they fucked this show up. Because I was a very big advocate of Gotham.
Yes.
Like if you listen to old episodes of this show, I defended Gotham for a very long time, and then it fucking betrayed me and it let me down. It's such a bummer.
I think the problem with Gotham is that at some point they lost their direction and what they were trying to do, and they're like, all right, well, let's just capitalize on what's popular right now. So Scott Snyder's Batman, Death of the Family, Joker loses his face. Okay, we're gonna have Joker cut his face off. And they went with that, and then and now they're trying to capitalize on the whole multiple Joker thing, and that's why you got Jeremiah's not the Joker, but his brother is BS, and they just kind of really like snowballed. Like I loved the first season of Gotham, but they just snowballed these characters because relatively like these characters should be around the same age. You would assume like.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that like Cobblepot Penguin's going to be older, but the Riddler seems to be closer to Batman's age, and all these characters seem to be around the same age, and you have just that dynamic relationship between Batman and the Joker that just sells, and the yin to the yang relationship, and they totally just absolutely missed the mark on that completely.
Yeah, I think
they tried. Sorry, Brian, but I think they tried too hard to make him the Joker, but not make him the Joker because they were trying to stay. I think they were trying to keep this essence of pre-Joker, but they wanted to let you know he was a Joker, and I think that's where it really fucked up, honestly. Because it did. You're right, Matt. It didn't give that Joker Batman dynamic because they were alluding to it, but they didn't want to actually commit to it. So they were
right.
And I think that's where they kind of went awry with that, with the awesomeness that could be Batman versus the Joker, which is always like, it's like every muse's storyline. Like they can, if it's the Batman and Joker, they can just, people for some reason can just write it.
Yep.
And I think trying to not be able to make him the Joker, I think really made it hard to write in Gotham.
I just think, that show.
And that's all I got to say about that.
That show tanked it hard.
I'm just waiting until they show, I guess, the last season. They're going to jump up 10 years in the future. And
this is it? This is the last season. We're in it right now.
I mean, not the last season. I'm sorry. In the last episode.
Yeah.
In the last episode, they're going to jump 10 years into the future. And I guess I kind of want to see what the Batman suit looks like and how they're going to age and how this whole thing will finally tie together if it does.
So if they jumped it 20 years in the future, it would be...
10. My fault. 10.
Oh, yeah, 10. It would be it would be the first Batman movie of the Christian Bale series. That would put him at that age where he's off, you know what I mean, fighting and training and putting himself in shitty positions before, he really learned, as he's learning to fight. That's where in all actuality, that's where we would put that.
That's the best place to test. That's the best place to test my good friend Joey Lawrence as the Batman. Have him play Batman in the final episode of Gotham.
I'm so bummed out that he did not listen to our call.
I know.
And he did not listen to our tweets, and he's not on our campaign.
I know.
He failed this city.
We have his back, and he betrayed ours.
And and exactly, just like Corbin said, in the words of Oliver Queen, he has failed this city.
He has failed this podcast.
Yep.
Yep. Wow.
He is no longer my Batman. And I was pulling for him.
It only took a week.
Wow. I was hoping that the next day I'd wake up and that fire would have caught that train, but it didn't.
I was hoping too. That's the first thing I did. I got up in the morning. I'm like, I went to look at my phone. I wanted to see how many little, on the iPhones when you have missed updates and notifications, it's red. I was hoping to see like 47 or 50 or 120. I was hoping to see something, and I looked at my Twitter and it said like 5, and I was like, oh man, what a fucking bummer.
And 4 of them were you.
And 4 of them were me. God damn it.
Oh, well,
whatever, Joey.
Kyle and I found out later that night that he actually already went on another podcast. He went on a Batman specific podcast to talk about it.
I think Joey Lawrence with bat nipples would be awesome.
With bat nipples,
George Clooney style. Oh no!
Whoa! I got the bat credit card. Whoa!
Whoa! Look at these nips.
What a movie, man. Oh,
or when he's fighting the Joker and he says, "Don't touch the hair."
Right? We can't mess with the hair. It's like the whole fight scene from Anchorman.
So, did you guys see the previews for that Good Omen TV show that's coming out?
No.
It's Neil Gaiman, and it's
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's got David Tennant as a demon and Michael Sheen as an angel, and they have to work together to find the Antichrist. And I'm not sure I think it's going to be on Hulu or Amazon, but it looks freaking amazing.
He's sitting right there with a bunch of Nightwing pictures behind him. I already did the job of the TV show.
Yeah. So it looks really good, and it's cool to see that Neil Gaiman is getting more love. Hopefully we'll eventually get a Sandman.
That movie's never happening.
I don't want a movie. I want a TV show on HBO.
Bless your heart, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but that movie's never happening.
Yeah. We'll see.
But what were you going to say, Corbin?
Oh no, I was right there with you. I mean, that's something that Sandman be a nice dream. I'm putting that right up there with my Frank Miller Batman-inspired movie.
Yeah,
like somewhere in 2020, never.
Oh, you mean that Batman Superman wasn't good enough for you?
Oh, come on, no. It was funny. I get I actually liked Ben Affleck casting as there, and I liked the costume and design, but they really need to flesh out. Like if they had made that the Batman movie about, let's say, what led this Batman to be more battle hardened, more jaded. Like losing Robin was obviously a trigger. Like go into that. I think would have been better. This Batman Superman, that was just a mess. I see what they tried to do, but it failed. I mean, even Zack Snyder tried to defend it and saying, "Oh well, Batman's killed people in the past, yada yada. Look at his comic book history." We're doing this, but like, what? Like, I don't know if some of these guys actually read the books. I mean, no. All that to say, no, I don't think that he got the essence of it there. He tried. He got some of it, graphically speaking.
Did you see the Spirit movie that Frank Miller did, Corbin?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
What'd you think?
I that was a little bit of a mess. I mean,
it was
Frank Miller. I mean, he's a little bit of a mess. I mean, it's all that in itself. Yeah, I just no. It was kind of all over the place for me.
I was really looking forward to it because I'm a big fan of the Spirit. It's gonna sound crazy, but the Spirit is a really fucking good character. And I'm surprised that they haven't brought him back and done more stuff with him. Mm-hmm. But I was really looking forward to it because Frank Miller had his hand in Sin City, and it sounded like it was gonna be a Sin City-esque type movie, and they really fucked that up, man. They really fucked that up.
True, and that all lays at the feet of Frank because he had directed. He had all the involvement, so it's like you don't know to blame for that but yourself. But then again, so his last couple of books, no one to blame but himself.
Yeah,
so,
DK3.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, I thought that was a save considering Dark DK2 and what was All-Star Batman and Robin. Like considering what a nosedive we took there, I thought that okay, it was bad. Yeah, Master Race was not good at all, but it wasn't as bad as those other two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which do you think was worse, actually, DK2 or All-Star Batman and Robin?
DK2.
DK2.
Okay.
All-Star Batman and Robin. We at least had Jim Lee drawing Batman.
Yeah, that is true. Jim Lee was amazing, but I did not like the way Frank made a younger Joker and made all the women in it, and man, it was just a mess. The early origins of the Justice League. Yeah, but you're right. DK2 was like actually more of a Justice League comic book than a Batman comic book, and it was a mess in that regard as well.
Yeah, I thought that Green Arrow was good in it though. They did a pretty cool thing with Green Arrow. So other than that, I think that it was a nightmare. Yeah. But anyways, it's hard. He's always going to be the great Frank Miller just because of everything before it. You know.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, there's two people that are on the comics Mount Rushmore from that time period, and that's Frank. Exactly right. Frank Miller and Alan Moore, right? And the two people that are, before them, from the 70s are Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. And then after them are, Scott Snyder and Jeff Johns to me, right? So
you just nailed it.
Wow, no love for Stan Lee or Kirby or
60s, right?
Well, yeah, no love for that, huh?
Love for Kirby, but I don't have the love for Stan Lee. I've said it before, and I think that Stan Lee gets way too much of Kirby's credit.
So he's a Bob Kane, but like a more benevolent, like a better Bob Kane.
Yeah, you get it. You're exactly right. Yeah. So
That's harsh. That's harsh to compare Stan Lee to Bob Kane.
It is.
I'm
It
sorry.
is.
Yeah. I didn't even mean to draw a line in that.
No, you're fine. Like that's your opinion. I respect it 100%. But
Yeah.
I'm just like that's harsh because at least Stan Lee acknowledges like that. Kirby had a lot to do with these characters. He's not like Bill Who.
Oh, that is very, very true. If anyone ever watched I think Stan Lee had a show in the 90s where he interviewed like comic greats, and he had Bob Kane on the show. And if you just watch those interactions, like just put like Stan Lee, Bob Kane interview on YouTube, it is so cringeworthy. Like Bob Kane was so full of himself, I get it, but Stan Lee was trying to like play it nice and keep it straight, and then Bob just went on a tangent, just attacking. No, I made Batman, and this is the signature Batman. It's like, dude, you want Batman to have like a red cape? Like, calm down.
If anybody out there listening ever gets a chance to see Jim Steranko in any con, do yourself a favor, walk up to him and ask him to tell his stories about Bob Kane. Absolutely hilarious. Real quick, one of the stories he told me was he literally bitched, and he said it this way: I bitch slapped Bob Kane. And he told me the story about how he bitch slapped Bob Kane, and it was absolutely hilarious. And I think that hearing stories about that from people who were his peers goes more to show that guy was a complete piece of shit. So yeah, I'll say that comparing Jim Lee to Bob Kane is a little harsh, but I think that Kirby.
No, I think you meant Stan Lee, not Jim Lee.
Yeah, sorry, Stan Lee. I think that Kirby should get way more credit than he ever does, and it's just because he died so long ago. So he didn't get to smell any of the flowers that they're giving Stan Lee. So
very true, very true. It's a shame.
Yep.
I mean, you're not even gonna put Ditko up there either. Like Kirby, Ditko, like
Ditko was great. So was Joe Simon. I mean, Simon and Kirby is to me is more important than Ditko and Jim Lee and Kirby. So
Stanley,
I think. Yeah, sorry, Jesus Christ. I think
why don't you just tell us what you have against Jim Lee, Brian?
We've talked about it. He secretly despises the man.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just playing.
I was like, tell me more. I don't really know. I know about Jim Lee from like the image information and stuff, but I mean,
Jim Lee's an absolute cool, 100% genuine dude. But
yeah,
talking about Stan Lee, he was recently in the news. Something about he died. Obviously, he died. Yeah, but something about his family or his estate is trying to do something weird right now. Did you hear about this, Matt?
No, I haven't heard about it, and I'm usually up on my Stan Lee in the news stuff. I guess my attention has been preoccupied with the Leaving Neverland documentary. So,
I gotta watch that this weekend. Right?
It's what I started watching it, and it's really hard to watch. It's really
very
why is that?
Cringeworthy. It's cringeworthy, man. It's really cringeworthy, and I personally think that there's a lot of truth in the idea that Michael Jackson probably molested kids. At least he was a very big weirdo. But also the fact that these guys are coming out when they're coming out is kind of weird to me. But in all honesty, it's really hard to listen to some of the stories that they're talking about because it's so dark. And hardcore. So
is it just hard for you to associate that with Michael Jackson? Is that
no? It's hard to me to hear any kid about any guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And this shit is fucking dark and creepy.
Well, the thing that kills me about this documentary is like it's the two guys, and then they interview. They're both their parents, their mothers, grandmothers, sisters, and like you hear the mothers talk about like how like he was so childlike and. Like none of this, like it was never a second thought to let my kid sleep in the same room as him, and it's like, well, really, like that was never a second thought for you.
But on the same note, it's you're starstruck. It's Michael Jackson. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
When you think of a star, there's not very many that are bigger than him. So to have him in your life as a normal middle class average family, you have this superstar that looks like Brian just sold that
Avenging Spider-Man.
Avenging Spider-Man. It's hard to get swept away, and you still looked at Michael Jackson as an adult. Like you would never, like you would say his intentions are good, so why would you doubt him? He's doing all this stuff, and he's this kind person that was doing all this stuff to help people. At the time, why would you have thought any different?
But do you feel that? I mean, like I understand, like it's not. I understand the R. Kelly situation and the difference between the two, but do you believe that like the backlash it's getting right now is worth it? Like the Simpsons pulled his episode. They're not going to air his episode
I
anymore.
think it's stupid.
They're not. Radio stations are pulling his music. They're refusing to play his music now. Like the dude's been dead for a long time now, and I understand this is terrible situations, but is it maybe a little bit of a knee-jerk overreaction to just the guy was still an icon? Yeah, he was a piece of shit allegedly, but still he was an icon. In
that takes away all the icon status. In my
think so?
Oh,
I was
100%.
gonna say, yeah, it gets tricky when you're like, what separates? I mean, a man's criminal activities, regardless of the type and what he's done, the type of work. Do you separate that person from their body of work, however it contributes to music or video? I thought the same thing with who was one of my all-time favorite actors, Kevin Spacey. In the wake of everything that happened there, how do I feel about any of his movies? And I'm still kind of struggling with all of that. But
I agree.
You're right. Like some say, you throw it all out. Doesn't matter. You've been that person. If you weren't with the blessing or whatever that is celebrity, you'd be in jail. Yada yada. Others say, listen, he had a major role in a lot of the music we have, a lot of the inspiration of future music that we have. The King of Pop. You don't just hand that out. But it at the same time, these are, I mean, and it's all, and again, allegations on a guy long since gone, but it's all a shame, man.
Well, right, and that's all it is.
The problem
is this allegations. He was tried twice, and wasn't convicted either time. So
hold on, but the thing about that is this: if that was the case, and he was really not at fault, then why did he pay two kids millions of dollars to stay quiet?
Because it's easier.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. If you, this is just my opinion. There's nothing worse than a child molester. Period. And
no,
I think it's a pretty good opinion to have, right?
Yeah, I think that's the opinion of the masses.
If that's the case, if you truly feel that that's a good opinion to have, then everything, as soon as you find out he's a child molester, then everything that he's done is garbage, or it's not necessarily.
But why? But the big problem is why did they wait this long? They shouldn't have waited.
That's my problem. I agree.
It's something that's been out in light for a long time. It's been known. It's something that's been talked about, rumored, alleged, whatever you want to call it. But why does this documentary make it official? And now everybody's in an uproar. It's been 20 plus years that these rumors have been here. Why wait till HBO does a documentary?
NDAs.
And it's tricky, but this is just the culture that we're in now.
It is,
right?
Everybody has to jump and go, oh shit.
You have to, regardless. And if you defend that, or you say, let's wait, let the guy defend himself, let the person defend himself, yada yada yada, you looked at it. I mean, it's just the way it is now. I mean, and we saw this a couple of years ago. I think it started. Well, I don't want to put where it started, but you had Cosby, you had all these other people come, and just like that, you pull the show off the air, and everything immediately goes there, or you wrestle with it because allegations and like I forgot the name again, but you already mentioned like he went to trial over this, yada yada. But at the same time, I don't know. There's not really any pause anymore. It's you say it and it's a wrap. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know. We're all judge and jury, and I don't want to be insensitive to that. I'm not taking. No,
it's the court of public opinion.
Exactly, and it holds serve all the time, especially now.
But where it differs from the R. Kelly situation is R. Kelly can go on Good Morning America and defend himself, but Michael Jackson's been dead for years. The guy can't defend himself, So you're getting one side of the story, and I'm sure you haven't heard because there's probably been NDAs and money, and like I guarantee you these dudes got paid tons of money to be hush hush, but just the way they describe some things in the documentary, it's like, okay, you question whether it happened or not, and you believe them, and then there's some things you're like, I don't know, that sounds a little much, and where were the parents in all of this, and like one kid's like, oh, my parents, we came from Australia and my parents let me stay with Michael Jackson for a week while they went to the Grand Canyon and did all this other stuff. And it's like, what parent does that? My parent would never let me do that,
Well, that's
and I understand.
I don't know. You don't know that though. The starstruckness of Michael Jackson or any star, it's hard to get. You get in this awe, and
no. My dad, dude, if I was like, I want to stay Michael Jackson, my dad would be like, what are you, an idiot? Smack me in the back of the head and throw me in the car.
Well, I got one.
Because at that time, it's now hindsight, it's easy to have that opinion now that it's been 30 years. But at the time, you were 8 years old and these allegations weren't out, and Michael Jackson was in your life, and you had the ability to be at Neverland Ranch. And you had the trusting of the pop star, the king of pop, Michael Jackson. I don't think he would have smacked you in the back of the head and said, "That's fucking stupid." No, he would have been like, "Later, Matt. I'm going to the Grand Canyon, motherfucker." And that's what would have happened.
I think it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, because on the one hand, you're right. Like, on the one hand, maybe some parents wouldn't. I know my family, that wouldn't happen. So I can kind of get on that. But at the same time,
if he was a friend of the family and it was someone that was trusted and you didn't think twice about him, it's almost like a babysitter.
But he wasn't a friend of the family.
Except that that's what I'm saying. Except that he wasn't. If you grew up together and you're in the same neighborhood, they became acquaintances.
But like those families that are on that documentary.
If you watch the documentary, they like Kyle's going towards, they say he was like a member of the family. He became a member of our family. He would call us and be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about you guys. I love you all. I can't wait to see you." He would check in with them on a daily basis. He
built that trust.
Yeah, he built relationships with these people. Every member of the family.
Yeah. So why would you think different? It's a family friend, just like, if you have when you have kids and you go on vacation, you go to Vegas, you leave your kids with a trusted person to watch them for a couple days.
Like your grandparents or something. Or if you have a king of pop, I guess you give it to the king of pop.
I'm telling you, a lot of it is the starstruckness of it.
You're right, Kyle.
Michael Jackson is in our lives. Like, we have this middle class, modest home, and we have this guy who the world is clamoring over, sitting at our kitchen table, asking us how our day was. You're going to get wrapped up in how awesome this is. And the trust, like, if you really think this person cares about you, it's easy for all of us to say now that this guy's a scumbag and he was a child molester. But you know what? In 1987, it was a different story.
Oh yeah. And I'm not trying to say that at all. I don't know. I get some of it. And at the same time, I think that there is some parental possibly negligence.
Well, that's
but you know what? If you were 9 years old and you got to go to Neverland Ranch, would you want to leave there? Fuck no. That place is dope. I see that as an adult and go, that place is fucking awesome.
I'd want to leave it if at night I was getting diddled by Michael Jackson.
I mean, if something that I think parents finally sleep, if there's certain boundaries in situations, I don't care who you are, that you would think, okay, we're sleeping in the same bed, I wouldn't even say the same room. No. I mean, it's just as close as you are, it's still.
I mean, that part is where it starts.
Could have been done.
If some 40-year-old
to get gray.
If some 40-year-old man tells me that his favorite TV show is Sesame Street, I'm gonna go, yeah, like what the fuck? And here's the other crazy thing that's really damning about this whole thing. It is weird to say that these kids are coming out now and why are they coming out now, but here's the really kind of thing that makes you go, they might be telling the truth.
Corey Feldman jumped on board.
Their dads both committed suicide because they felt so terrible about letting their kids get molested. That's fucking crazy.
It's just the power of stardom, right? I hate to say that, but I think I would say that's 60% of it. It's just, we're in a culture now where stardom and famous people that is what we strive for. That is what we look at. That is what we want to be. And it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's just where it's at. You just get in this awe of, I cannot believe this motherfucker wants to be here. This guy is going to make my kid famous. He's going to make us rich. He is going to make us live the dream. And it's hard to look past that when they think, you know what, this is, and once you find out, I mean, yeah, you're devastated. It's horrible. Holy fuck! I can't believe I didn't see these warning signs of fucking. I didn't hear the bells going off and the sirens, but I just think that's what it boils down to.
Well, like Chad and Tim are talking in the chat, and Chad's like, "It's Neverland Ranch. Who the fuck wouldn't want to go?" And then,
exactly. That's what I was saying. Even as an adult, if you see that place, you're enamored. If I was 9 years old and I walked into a room and Michael Jackson turned on a light switch that had fucking a room full of pinball and video games, it would be hog heaven for anyone, even me at this age. I might let them diddle my butt if I got to play a bunch of cool video games. You know what I mean? Pinball.
And he's like, Tim says in the chat, there was an amusement park there. It's like pedo Disneyland.
Yeah.
But then he also said Billy the Kid made people famous too, sir.
Oh man, so interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So
It's a tough and sad situation.
It is.
Seriously.
But now you got like Corey Feldman jumping on board, and
well, somebody stabbed him too. So
yeah, right. I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy how quickly it's like destroying the man's everything he's built, regardless. Like his music status and the TV, like the Simpsons stuff, and
yeah.
I don't think any of his shit should be pulled. If it should have been pulled, it should have been pulled a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Doing it now, I think it's like
reactionary.
And that's just a sign of the times. Where look at when he was on trial before, and people were like appalled, but that was where it stopped. And now you're in 2018-19, where it's cool to be offended by everything. It's people are pull everything. Don't
Yeah, look what they did to
and
Kevin Hart. I mean,
yeah,
we're in a time where a person like Kevin Hart, who's pretty damn stand-up dude, and they go and look at something silly and totally make him out to be this big.
Well, he cheated on his wife. There's no hands about that. He cheated on his wife.
But I wasn't gonna say anything when you said stand-up. I was like, relatively for a comedian, I get there. He could be worse. He could be a lot worse. Yeah. And again, that's tricky because again, especially with comedy, and I'm not a comedian, so I wouldn't know, but like jokes and different things, then I mean, you can always offend somebody. So
yeah.
Oh man, it's something.
That's tough. That was
Chad says, if you want me to play a game, eat pizza and pet your animals, and really cost me getting tickled a little bit, I'm fucking in. Our Chad, man. Our Chad is. There's some crazy dudes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, but I didn't mean to jump off topic with that. But what were you saying about Stan Lee, Brian?
Who fucking cares now?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? It doesn't even matter anymore.
Let's circle the wagons back here.
Jesus Christ, it's fucking.
Oh wow, I don't know where we went. I mentioned we were Stan Lee, Jim Lee, and someone said Michael, and away we went. Right? Yeah. That was. Oh man.
Welcome to the Absolute Geek Podcast.
Okay.
How was Stan Lee's cameo in Captain Marvel?
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh yeah. And what they did at the beginning.
His cameo is also it's also a Kevin Smith-esque.
Tim and Michael Jackson.
No.
Oh man. No, Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the post of him. He was crying. He cries a lot now.
Well, apparently he didn't. Apparently he didn't know that they put that in there. So
now he's part of the Marvel universe.
He is.
Mm.
They made a Mallrats reference, right?
Mm-hmm. So Stanley's cameo, and I'll ruin it for everyone because it's not really that big a deal. Stanley's cameo is
blah 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 blah.
Yeah, when you see her fighting the scroll on when you see her punch the old woman on the train in the trailer,
mm-hmm.
She runs across Stan Lee and he's reading the Mallrats script. He's going over his lines from Mallrats.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so he's got the big script and it says, it's got the red cover and the green Mallrats on it. So, yeah.
Wow, that's freaking cool.
That was cool.
And they do, like Corban said, they do a beautiful tribute to Stan at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that montage was amazing. That opening.
Yeah.
You think they're probably going to do it for every Marvel movie the rest of the year, I would imagine.
Probably.
I mean, even for Endgame, and I don't think they had one last year. I mean, even for Avengers, I don't think they had an opening for Avengers last year. But
the way that they did Endgame or Avengers Infinity War was so fucking good. It was, you could tell that they didn't want to fuck around and make anything seem cheesy. Everything was a little bit more serious and a little bit that like they made it more cinematic, and that not having that opening, the way they opened that movie was so good. The whole scene with Loki and Thor and
they literally made you feel for a dude who wanted to wipe out half the world's population.
Yes,
for real, and got you shook from the jump. Like, well, all bets are off.
Yes,
yep.
Like right when it happened, I was like, oh, and I watched it 4 times, but each time I remember go, ooh, stood up for a second, like, okay,
yeah. When he snaps Loki's neck, it's
oh my god,
yeah, but.
And he tells him there's no coming back from the dead this time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That movie is so good. It's so
Spoiler alert. No, I'm just playing.
There's very few times where I get really excited for a movie that's coming out, and Endgame is one of those movies.
And then the mid-credit scene will get you fucking really hyped for Endgame of Captain Marvel.
Good.
I read it online.
Oh yeah. That was, and it takes you right there. The 22nd, right? 26th.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, right. That's right.
Next month,
right around the corner, essentially. Yeah.
Next month? It's coming next month?
Yeah, it's next month.
Holy cow.
April.
You got Shazam in the middle of those too.
We're gonna have Game of Thrones and Infinity or Endgame,
and then Shazam on the 5th.
Oh, I'm
actually looking forward to Shazam for sure.
So am I.
Oh man.
I think that's a really good movie. The type of movie that they're showing that they're doing looks really interesting.
What do you think of
cheesy at first?
What do you think of the news that came out that they're replacing Will Smith with Idris Elba to play Deadshot?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yep.
Dude's an awesome fucking actor.
I think Will Smith is a character of himself nowadays, and it's unfortunate to him because he's such a big character. He's almost like somebody I'll compare it to is like John Wayne, like where John Wayne became a character of himself, where he was just John Wayne. You could never take him out of being the actor, the way I guess the way to kind of explain this is, I remember that when I watched Training Day, and when the way Denzel Washington, how he acted so fucking good in that you forget that you're watching Denzel Washington. You can never do that with Will Smith. You can never forget that you're watching Will Smith, and that was one of the problems with him playing Deadshot was you can't watch Deadshot. You're watching Will Smith. So,
well, there's 3 roles I associate him with. There's Will Smith from Fresh Prince, and then there's Jay from
Bad Boys.
No. Then there's Jay from Men in Black, and then there's Mike Lowry from Bad Boys.
Yeah. I agree.
But Denzel is a different speed, though. Like if you watch Man on Fire, like you forget you're watching Denzel.
Yes.
And that's like one of my favorite Denzel movies is Man on Fire.
That's one of my favorite movies, period, man. That movie I can watch. That's one of those movies that's like Shawshank Redemption, and that that you can even whenever it's on even like TNT or something that's
like X-Men First Class.
Yeah, you could totally watch it, man.
How dare you put Man on Fire and X-Men First Class in the same conversation?
Because I can.
Slayer says, I'm most excited to see Will Smith being Genie in that one movie. Oh, you mean
that movie called Aladdin?
That one movie. Maybe it's called Aladdin.
Come on, Logan.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited the new direction they're going with James Gunn, and you're going to have a whole new team, and apparently King Shark is part of that team. So apparently Harley is going to be in it in certain parts, but she's not a main team member. So, but it's a whole different team now. I think
that's going to be cool. I think James Gunn is going to give it a really cool, like a nice life and a new aspect. And I think it's going to give it something that the first movie didn't have.
I think
I'm completely full of shit and it'll be a train wreck.
No, I don't. I think it'll be decent.
No, I think it's going to be good.
I got faith in it too. I think DC's trying to climb out of that hole that they sunk in from basically what after Man of Steel through what
They're in a hole that
up to
they're
Wonder
never going
Woman.
to dig out of.
No,
I mean,
I
I
think
don't think they're ever going to get to Marvel levels of respectability, but they can be a lot better than they have been. Like we'd all agree on that, right?
I think they thought they were going to get out of that. They found the man to get him out of that hole in God damn it, I can't think of it.
Aquaman, Wonder Woman.
No. I'm talking Joss Whedon. I think they thought Joss Whedon was
Oh, the
getting him out of that hole.
person.
And now that they got James Gunn, I think James Gunn's the guy that could do it. I think taking on Suicide Squad is the perfect speed for him.
Definitely. I have hope for it. I do.
But like 40, 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Cruise control.
Yep.
Well, I think like I said, we've talked about before. I think what helped James Gunn so much is that nobody knew what to expect from the Guardians of the Galaxy because nobody really knew what they were. If you weren't like an avid comic book fan, nobody really knew Guardians of the Galaxy. So he kind of hit it out of the park with no expectations when that movie came out.
That is true. Yeah, because I had little to none. I mean, and I can't even say I didn't even read the comics much of Guardians of the Galaxy back then. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it because it's Marvel, and it blew me out the water. And then yeah, that is true. I guess you're right. When you come into a spot where you have little to no expectations, you can blow out the water and really set kind of the tone there. And because of his experience with that, I mean, at this point, DC can use any decent,
And then I think Dave Bautista gets all the credit for knocking the second one out of the park. So
I agree.
I didn't even really see him in it.
Yeah, because he was standing so still.
Yeah,
he disappeared. Oh man, there's we had a funny a rumor over at Comic Playground. I'm sure it's been put in other spots since too, but that in that gap in the Avengers Endgame trailer when all of them seem to be looking up at the sky, and there's like a big gap in between. I can't see it in my head right now, but two of the characters, in the grass. That gap, who's there? Like, did they digitally like move someone out? And
it's a
the joke that was passed was that it was Drax just standing so slowly silent. Yeah, I think Frank said it was hilarious. And now it's actually a theory of mine. No, I'm kidding.
That's actually really good. I didn't hear that. That's really good.
Yeah, it's something else.
It's
Captain Marvel. They just digitally removed.
Yeah,
Captain
try to be cool about it. I mean, and then can't say it. Well, yeah. I'm very anxious to see that. I'm very excited that they're gonna have that. Apparently, it is just gonna be 3 hours, like officially, or as close to officially as you can get with a month out. So that's kind of cool. Like I haven't heard anything since then. Unless you guys have heard something different about them trimming it down, which I'm here for a long movie. Like you have to finish out this current iteration of some of these heroes. For Captain America and Iron Man, it's gonna be like the last we see of both of them as they are right now. Like, give me all 3 hours.
Oh yeah, 3 hours. The last I heard is it's gonna be like Titanic runtime. So
let's go.
I'm all for that, But I've also heard rumors that I think AMC is gonna show Avengers and then Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame all in one day.
Oh, I'm taking the day off.
I
just said in my head, let me see how I can work this.
Sorry, wow. I gotta go nerd out. I'm gonna call in a sick day.
Right.
That I did that for Star Wars, and that was really fucking hard. It was
not the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it was really hard to sit through all
those
movies. So I don't ever want to do that again.
I mean, I'm down to try.
I'll do it at home through a week span in 4K and then go see Endgame. I don't need to go.
Exactly.
Oh, fun.
But there's no doubt in my mind after seeing Captain Marvel that a lot of the rumors in Endgame are a bunch of trash now. Like, there's no question that she's the one that finds Tony Stark in space.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
just when you see her aura and stuff when she's flying around, like, there's no question that's who it is.
Does she go into binary mode in the movie?
No.
Or she gets that binary power?
No.
She doesn't.
I bet she gets it in.
I don't even think I was trying to. Yeah. Do they even reference? I was trying to remember they didn't even reference that. Like at all? No.
Yeah, because in the comics, that's what really powers her up is that binary power she gets in like X-Men 168 or something like that. So
That turns, yeah. No, it was strength of will in this one.
it was will. They actually said it was willpower.
No. I was
Okay.
no, they never said it. No, I'm saying for her to really light up. I'm trying to remember. You know how they have those. Well, I don't want to talk too much about the movie, but it definitely wasn't traditional comic book. Like like a certain thing that unleashed the full force. Except that she had basically been holding back. Like again, without going too deep into it, for the good of who she was working with, had been thinking that she needed to be, kind of held in check or hold her emotions and affect her powers that way. And then when she finally unleashed and discovered everything and let the full force go, then she became,
Yeah. Well, I just think it's funny how the similarities to Captain Marvel and Green Lantern and all the rip-offs of whoever is ripping each other off. But
yeah, it's very weird because you really don't see her unlock her full power until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. So
sure.
Good. Maybe she saves it all up for the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Because now so I take it the last 20 minutes you get to really see. They really show what the potential that she has that we all know, but maybe that's what we really get to, because we really get to see in the new Avengers.
Let's just say Thanos is in for a mighty big ass whooping.
She's not going to miss the head. She's not going for the chest, I take it.
Yeah, no.
She won't have to look at Thor's diagram that says head better, chest bad.
Yeah, no. But the damn cat was one of my favorite parts about that movie, though. Goose is.
Everybody was talking about the cat even before the movie, so that's cool.
He lived up to expectations. Good old Goose.
But kind of changing topics, I think we can't really go much farther in the night without acknowledging like how many people we were lost this week. Like we lost Luke Perry this week.
No, Dylan, no.
And Fred Andrews, R.I.P. Fred Andrews.
Ted Lindsay, R.I.P. Ted Lindsay.
Yep. The lead singer from Prodigy.
Every 35-year-old woman is crying that Dylan from 90210 died.
Yeah. If you're a wrestling fan, King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy, yeah.
Jan Michael Vincent. Airwolf.
Yep.
I guess I'll just have to take over the spot in Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale will be the same because Uncle Kyle Andrews is coming to town.
Someone's got to take care of Archie, dude. Come on.
Listen, the day it happened, within 20 minutes, I photoshopped Kyle into that role. And I decided not to use it because I was like, maybe this is distasteful. But there is a Photoshop out there of Kyle as Uncle Kyle Andrews.
We're sitting at the funeral.
Yeah.
Me and Archie. I think you totally should have used those fucking pictures.
I'll put them out, but
nothing's too soon. Hey, if we can get offended in 4.5 seconds, why can't we fucking make jokes in 4.5 seconds too?
The two peas in a pod is my favorite.
Oh, Jose and fucking Dylan from 90210 in the stroke pod.
Yep. Tim says it's never too soon, Matt.
Never. That's our new hashtag campaign. We got to get me on Riverdale.
Wow.
Perry says, my name is Perry Luke. Yeah, my mom loved 90210. That's awesome.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
I was too young for 90210, but I definitely am a fan of Riverdale.
I remember watching the first episode. I remember everybody was super stoked, and we got to a bunch of friends got together at a buddy's house and
watch Riverdale.
No, 90210, man.
No, I watched 90210. Everybody every guy put a little bit more hair gel in their hair. They rolled up their Levi's pants a couple more times.
Grew sideburns.
Yeah, I mean it was you were Brandon or Dylan. I mean it's and there was no lines. You didn't there was no one side or the other. It didn't matter. It was unity.
You remember when they brought Tiffany Amber Thiessen on that show? She was so hot.
I do.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Were you a fan of the Dawson too, Brian? Or Brian?
Dawson? No. I you know what? I wasn't into Dawson's Creek, but I was definitely into 90210 and Tiffany.
I was watching Boy Meets World. I wasn't watching 90210.
Topanga. I'm all.
I wasn't about that 90210 life.
I'm all about Mr. Feeney too. I'm down for
Feeney.
Yeah, down with the Feeney.
Oh man, 90210.
We're all showing our age here.
Yeah,
Brenda.
Now you see I'm so quiet, right?
Yeah, we're all showing our age.
I remember Degrassi, so I mean, there's that.
Oh yeah, so Drake in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I just remember when Jay and Silent Bob went to Degrassi.
Yep.
Wow.
I think that show's one of the longest running TV shows ever, right?
The Simpsons.
No, Degrassi's up there though. I think
how long was Degrassi? Yeah.
I think it's still going.
Yeah,
I think Grey's Anatomy's beat it.
I think they have like Degrassi, the next generation now.
Yeah.
They're all like 64.
Still having the same high school problem.
Yeah. It's just it's a nursing home problems.
Nursing home problem. It's all shows about elder abuse now.
Nobody cared about Steve Sanders. Sorry, Tim. No love.
Colonel Sanders?
No Steve Sanders. He did have a dope ass car though.
I don't know. It's a crazy week. Crazy.
Then it broke off. And did you watch Melrose Place, Brian?
I watched a little bit of Melrose Place when Melrose Place first started. Other than that, no.
All about
Never watched. Dude, at that time I was watching Family Matters and Full House and Boy Meets World and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I wasn't watching 90210 or anything.
At the same time as 90210, one of the greatest shows of all time was on TV. Married with Children.
Yes.
Oh,
it is still a great show.
Yes. Love Married with Children, man.
We're dating ourselves here. Corbin's like, geez, I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm like, Proud Family.
I don't know any of this shit.
Proud Family? I can get behind Proud Family.
There we go. You know, those are shows. Love myself some reruns. I'll tell you that.
Kim Possible.
Family Matters. Kim Possible. Yep. Not the movie, not that sad movie, but the TV show.
Yeah.
Where it really was at. In fact, just give me Disney Channel like before, like 10 years ago.
When they used to have the original movies on there?
Yeah, Cartoon Network too. Jeez. I mean, Boomerang. I can go on a rant about Boomerang, so I'm just not going to do that. How it's not even Boomerang, just another spot to dump Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh man. Like you said, it's been a crazy week, but crazy how time flies. I think if anything, Captain Marvel's had like people reflecting on nostalgia for something that was already 20-something years ago. You know, 23 going close to 25 years ago that all this stuff happened. It was such a big part of people's lives.
Because it's all people, mine and Brian's, Matt's age that are now, you know, are the heavy comic consumers right now.
Yeah.
So putting stuff like that in the movies is big for us. It's like, because that reminds us of being in junior high and high school.
Yep.
So I mean, I kudos that they did that they're giving back to their main demographic of consumers.
True.
Did any of you guys make it out to your local comic shop this week?
I did.
Tomorrow.
I actually came today.
Yeah, Brian got me an awesome comic book today from the comic book shop.
We did.
Did you pick anything interesting up?
It's sitting right here.
There it is. Hello, my new friend.
There you go. Wow. So I picked up I bought 2 of those Batman Adventure 12s, and I walked out with a short box full of books for the first time in a long time. Unfortunately, none of them are really new. I picked up some craziness. I picked up like 10 copies of Suicide Squad number 49, where it's Barbara Gordon in the wheelchair and she's pointing the gun. Mm-hmm. I picked up like 10 copies of Marvel Age. I forget what number it is. It's the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man cover, which is a really, really cool book that a lot of people don't know about. It's probably top 5 favorite McFarlane Spider-Man covers.
Any foreign variants?
I didn't see any foreign. Didn't see any foreign variants, so it's close. Which one is that right there?
This is the Torment one.
Oh, okay, is that the regular cover, or is that?
Yeah, this is just the regular cover, dark kind of background. Yeah, nothing special behind that. No, I definitely get you. That's some finds.
Yeah, I got really, our local comic shop owner had a score of a decade, and bought a complete storage unit full of old collections in an old store that it's everything from the golden age up, but
I think it was like 83 to 93, wasn't it?
Yeah, the guy who had the storage unit put everything in there in 1993 and had never been in it since, and it was like 400 long boxes. So it was complete craziness, and everything was so dirty. It was like dust and dirt, and that was the only problem. But it was pretty cool seeing some of the, stacks. I mean, they pulled out, like 25 of the first appearance of Squirrel Girl. They pulled out 12 Batman Adventure 12s. They pulled out 6 or 7 first appearances of Rocky Raccoon. Of Rocket, and the stuff that they were pulling out of this storage unit was absolutely unreal, and it was cool to see some of that. But it's not very fun going through dirty boxes. That's one thing I hate. I hate dirty comics. It's fucking gross.
I actually went to my local shop this week and I picked up the new Walking Dead. Of course, that was the reason I went there.
How was it?
It was pretty good. But then I picked up two comics just because I really liked the cover. I picked up this Alex Ross Hulk variant.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then I picked up this Spider-Man variant.
Oh, that's good. I always love anything with Mary Jane like that. I'm a sucker for Mary Jane.
I liked both of those covers, so I just picked them up just to frame them and display them through the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I only grabbed one thing of mine. I went today, but it was I guess it really wasn't for anything particular. Just kind of go and kind of check it out. I always like to go randomly. Sometimes I got free time or a day off to kind of see what's new. Wasn't looking for any single issues. They have a great deal for like 50 cents an issue after 50 comics. So I was gonna grab that, but I ended up seeing. I'm a sucker for the Marvel Essential line. I saw the Marvel Essential Hulk, and so I had to grab one of those. And then a couple of days ago, they also had all of the Iron Mans, at least 1 through 4.
Oh, nice.
The original run Iron Man. I'm really good for that. I don't really, and it's really good. The black and white cover, or the black and white print, the newspaper style, to give me like 20 to 30 issues in one. I'm for that. So I grabbed a couple of those. That's kind of my find of the week.
Very nice. Cool. What shop do you normally go to?
Ash Avenue. Or Ash Street Comics. That's mine. But there's another one I've been going to before Brandon's Comics, but that's off of McClintock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
been
went
there a long time.
Yeah, I went over there, but Ash Avenue is kind of where it's at.
Have you ever been to Greg's Comics out there in Mesa?
Yes, he has some good ones too. Yeah, I got a couple of them. Cool guy. Yeah, definitely grabbed a couple of X-Men. I think I got my Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I have a copy of, but I had to grab another. So yeah, definitely. I'm really big on the graphic novels. I have a couple of comics, like a small collection of comic books, but for me, give me complete stories and complete runs,
So yeah, they're easy to read. You don't have to wait it out. You can just burn through it and enjoy it for everything that it is, and not have those gaps of what happened last month. Yes. Yeah, sometimes it's better. It's totally better to read the graphic novels.
So real quick, this is for anybody who's watching the YouTube. This is the Spider-Man McFarlane cover that a lot of people don't know about. The Marvel Age. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh wow, beautiful.
Yeah. So. Very cool book. He signs it in a really cool way. So if anybody's getting a McFarlane autograph and has that book, have him sign it. It's really cool. So
how does he sign it, Brian?
Upside down, backwards.
Yep. And then puts a 666 in his after it.
I was like, what?
Oh man. Stupid. But yeah, do you watch Walking Dead, Corbin?
You know what's funny? I have not gotten into it. No, I need to. I mean, I have.
Say what?
I read the comics. I read some of them. I've looked. It's just not my. I guess like if something if it's on, I watch it, and I got to do better. I got to be better. Cause I look as like one of those things. If it's on, I watch. But like, oh yeah, I got to see the new episode. I mean, I did not. I there's actually no defending that. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that. But because you're right, there's not even an excuse for it. I just have to. I'm looking at it, even today on my Netflix, and I was like, yeah, I should start checking that out. But now it's all said and done, basically. I'm like,
it's getting there for sure.
Yeah,
this season has been absolute fire, though.
Oh man, the last week's episode, holy fuck, was that a good episode? There wasn't a lot of action in it, but what was going on was just so intense. It was just, I mean, the Whispers is exactly what The Walking Dead needed to revive it. And I'm hoping that everybody catches the wind of it again. And a lot of people that have left, I'm hoping they return because the Whispers are a breath of zombie air. I mean, it's fresh air. It's hands down. This is what The Walking Dead needed.
Just alpha decapitating that woman was enough for me.
Just to show dominance.
And like when the body hits the ground, you can see like her fucking trach tube and like her throat, and then that, and it's, oh man.
No, wow. They did, and I mean they did that in the comic. You know, I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing with the Whispers. They're done. They really learned that okay, we fucked up a good character. Let's not fuck up another good character. And I think they really sat down and said, okay, what do we need to do to not fuck her up? And they're fucking nailing it.
Yeah, the first thing they did is they hired Samantha Morton. Samantha Morton's a great fucking actor. So they really killed it with who they cast.
And Beta is Opie from fucking Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's wow.
No,
yeah,
they're fucking killing it.
Playing Alpha is just she's incredible. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got. You got anything else tonight? Anything you guys want to cover?
I got one shout out I've got to do. I went to a concert this weekend on Saturday.
Shout out tonight.
Who gives a fuck?
Brian has absolutely used our quota of shout outs for the night.
Yeah.
How many do you average? No.
Brian
I'm
just
in love with the shout out too. I feel it. Okay.
Have you guys seen the cover for?
Well, hold on. Let Kyle talk.
Come on. Sorry. Yeah.
It's all right. It's the Brian show. We can let him.
Yeah. No.
He's so used to being on all these podcasts.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which is another shameless plug. Check out the Bogcast.
Yeah, he's Bogcast famous.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. I was watching the one with Rich. He's such a good dude.
He is. He's a good dude.
But no, I was gonna give a shout out to. I went to a concert. I took my kid to a concert this weekend, and I would take him to see Mushroomhead, which is a great band. They're fucking awesome to see live. I got introduced some pretty good, a new band. I love that's the joy of concerts is getting to see other bands and finding out more music that you like. But what they had was they had this group there called Hell's a Poppin' Sideshow Circus. And if you guys have not heard of these guys, you guys need to check them out. So what they do is they set it up, and it's just like a sideshow. They do all this crazy shit. They had this dude come out. His name was like Little Dangerous E, and he has no legs, so he walks out on his hands. And I mean, at one point he climbs up this ladder, man, and he jumps into this fucking pile of glass, and he's smacking around in it, and it's just, the next dude comes on, and he's got these two drills with these fucking spirals on them, and he takes it in, and it goes into his nose and it comes out his mouth. He takes the other one, he puts it into his nose, it comes out his mouth, and he drills them in. He drills them back out. I mean, just if these people come to your city, check them out. I mean, like the dude he took these two popcorn kernels, and what he did was he stuck them in his nose, and he rushed them, and he fucking put all this pressure, and you can see him coming up, and he puts down his eyelids, and he pushes again, and he pops the popcorn kernels out of the tear ducts of his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, it was it's the fucking
that
awesomest
sounds-
shit you've ever fucking seen. And like me and my kid are right up front, we're right against the gate. So we're like 2 feet away from this fucking dude, and he's fucking, and you just, you know, like he gave somebody the popcorn kernels, and like you can like hold on to him, look at him, and then he stuck him, and dude, he got him to come out of his tear ducts, man. It's fucking incredible what these dudes were doing, man. Like this other dude, he fucking he had all these like piercing needles, you know, those long piercing needles.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes one, and he shoves it through his cheek, and you've seen a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
You know, he took another one and he shoved it through like right here in his throat, like the front of his throat. He took another one, he shoved it through the fucking like his bicep, so it comes out the other side. And then he takes like a Phillips head screwdriver, man, and he fucking jams it through his hand.
Oh,
dude, it's
I'm
fucking
done.
Dude.
Good night, everybody.
It's fucking incredible what these dudes were doing. And like the other dude, he took like this 5-inch long drill bit, man, and he like drills it into his nose, and it's I don't know, man. It's just, you're right, Tim. It is a lot like the Jim Rose Circus, and they did tour with White Zombie. They also toured with 9 Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson. Same essence as that. It's just they're on tour right now, and it's just if they're coming to your city, they're totally worth checking out. I mean, they had another dude, man. It's such a bummer because these guys are doing these crazy things. And this other dude comes out and he does these super awesome yo-yo tricks. But when you just watch the dude jam a screwdriver through his hand, it's hard to watch a dude do really awesome yo-yo tricks. Like the shit was
in comparison.
It does. You're like, holy fuck, this dude is not just like walking the dog and doing the fucking, like he's doing these crazy ass things, but you're like, the last dude just stuck a drill in his nose. I mean, it's you know, like it's hard to compare. The dude was awesome. They're all awesome, but it's the Hell's a Poppin' circus. So if you guys have a chance to see them come to your city, don't hesitate and pay the money. It's kind of cool. They hang out after they're done. You can walk up and talk to them and hang out with them. Like me and my kid got pictures with them, and we were hanging out talking to them, and they're really nice people, and it's fucking dope. Just go see it.
Okay. Wow.
There you go. That's
Stoked.
quite the rousing.
Oh my God, dude! I would love to get them on the show and just talk to them about what it goes into, like these tricks. Like, I mean, like, dude, how many times can you shove a screwdriver through your hand before you're like, why the fuck am I jamming a fucking screwdriver through my hand? Like, I mean, like, you gotta be like, something has to like pop, but it's fuck, dude. You just get like, we were sitting right up front, and just the excitement of watching these dudes. Like the one dude, man, he took a hose, he jabbed it through his nose, and he pulled it out of his mouth. And he pulls it, and he pulls it, and he pulls it, and he takes it, and he shoves it into his other nostril, pulls it out of his mouth, and it's like 20 feet of hose. And he sticks it in.
Tim says, you know you're fucked when your yo-yo act follows a guy driving screwdrivers through his fucking hand.
Yeah, you had. I mean, seriously, the dude's like, "Fuck, man, am I really gonna follow that?" Like, and don't get me wrong, the dude was. I wish I was that cool with a fucking Duncan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I can't even tie the fucking right slip knot to make it fucking go on my finger. But I don't know. Like, it's just go check it out. It's just it's the coolest fucking shit. And I guess most of those dudes are in like Ripley's Believe It or Not, and for the records and the crazy shit that they've done. So
Nice.
yeah. So I just had to give a huge shout out to those motherfuckers.
So, all right, Brian. Now we can thank you for that information, Kyle. Now we can return to the Brian show.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Oh man.
What were you gonna say, Brian?
Oh God, I can't even fucking remember now.
Well, that's good.
I'm out of it.
I don't know. You're mindlessly plugging something that you do.
Yeah.
But totally check out the podcast for real. Eventually, we're going to be on it. So
yes, you are.
Come check it out.
Yes, you are. We are going to have you guys on it soon. So I'm looking forward to sit down with Kyle and have a podcast where everybody gets hammered on it.
Oh God, I can't wait! It's gonna be fucking awesome.
But real quick, I do have to say something. There was something that kind of just I know we're getting close.
Flip side.
No. I saw this video that's trending on Facebook right now. It's one of the biggest videos on there, and it's kind of outrageous. It's a guy who has pancreatic cancer and he's terminal, and he's
Alex Trebek.
He's close, but he's at the end and he's in the hospital getting chemotherapy, and these cops walk in and start searching.
Oh, I saw that.
How ridiculous is that? They
got a call for marijuana and they're coming in and raiding his fucking house, dude. What the fuck?
And this not even his house. They're in the hospital room.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're going through all his bags and they're taking time away that his family's in there spending with him while he's still alive. And it was just really outrageous. And it just blew me away. And I think that people out there, just take the time, if you don't already know about what medical marijuana does for especially cancer patients, but all people who are terminally sick or have disease. It's absolutely inhumane to cause that and to act that way. And so we just got to get smarter and see the good that stuff does. So
Tim has your number in the chat tonight, Brian. I'm just going to put that out there.
You must not have the chat going.
He says, check out my eBay store. We sell Hitler memorabilia.
So anyways, yeah.
That's something Corban's like, what do you mean Hitler? Like, why are you guys talking about Hitler?
Yeah. He doesn't realize.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah. He's only listened to a couple episodes. I don't think he was prepared for what he walked into.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because talking about Avengers: Infinity War was the whole thing that the Hitler thing happened, right?
So, yes, it was.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, you'll have to check that one out, Corban. It's pretty stupid.
for sure.
I can't remember what he was trying to make some kind of comparison, and he compared it to Hitler, and it just like snowballed out of control. Yeah. And now like every episode, he's just known for bringing something up about Hitler.
I'm gonna have to check it out. You have to send a link if I can't find it, but I'm gonna look for
like he said earlier. Tim said earlier in the chat when your brother walked in, he's like, Brian, check it out. Your dog let Hitler in the house.
Wow.
But all right. So I mean, looks like. Did you have anything you wanted to bring to the table, Corban, being our guest?
No. I'm just thankful for the opportunity. Thanks for having me on. It's been just like you guys promised, a lot of fun. A lot of great conversation. Already a fan. Definitely gonna subscribe and other than to do a check out our podcast for sure.
Where can everybody check you out?
Go ahead and why
don't you Brian out for a little bit?
Yeah, I won't criticize you for Brianing out. Go ahead and plug everything you got to plug, man.
Now that Brian's
I don't know if I can do it as well as Brian, but Comic Playground. Have our website. So I mean, you put Comic Playground on Google, you'll find it also on all social media. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter @Comic Playground. It's a lot of fun. Similar to what you guys are doing, a lot of fun. Definitely could see like we're all up here in Arizona, all nerds, so that's fun. But it's Frank's as funny as you guys think he is, and the rest of the cast, Joe, Adonis, Zach, my man Donnie, myself, we have a lot of fun covering pretty much the same thing. So a lot of big stuff going, a lot of fun. You can catch us pretty much all of those platforms though.
Awesome.
I wish we had a Frank Caliendo in our show.
I wish I could be on a show with Frank Caliendo.
Right.
Hey, I mean, who knows what the future holds? It's fun. I'll tell you exactly what you imagine, though. It is a lot of fun, and yeah, you can see I'm still learning how to plug, so we're still getting some experience here. But yeah, it's a blast for sure.
You did a good job.
Yep,
you did fine. And thanks again, y'all. This has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure that we link you guys and everything that we put out.
We'll keep in touch. Oh yeah, for sure.
Hopefully you had a good time and it wasn't what you weren't expecting and nothing caught you off guard.
No,
we can be a little odd. Brian, I'm looking at you. Mr. Muted and walked away.
That's why he left.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm tired of getting made fun of for plugging. He's got nothing left to plug, so he's out.
So,
awesome. Man.
Well, yeah, I definitely want to thank you for coming on. It was great having you on. Very good conversation, and definitely very knowledgeable about the medium that we're working in. So that's good. And
sir. I appreciate that.
Hopefully, you're welcome back on anytime.
Hey,
you want to come back?
Get you to return the favor. It's gonna be fun for sure. I would
love to.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun here, and you're right. I mean, nothing really caught me on guard. I do need to listen to a few more episodes to get more of an understanding. I'm certain because 3 will not cut it, but yeah, y'all have a great community, and this has been a blast. And I got to get the Hitler joke, so I'll be listening.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't get the full effect until you go back for the first couple of years.
Got you. Oh wow, yeah. I'm about to say when you're 400 episodes in,
yeah,
that's multiple seasons.
Well, we were doing
right.
We were doing 3 shows a week at one point, and then we just cut back to just 1. So yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, definitely. Wow.
So
well, definitely much respect to that. I'm lot to catch up on, but I'm looking forward to it. It's been awesome.
Yes, Tim, Frank Caliendo, the Madden guy.
Oh yeah, I think I love the Madden impression the best. He has a very good Morgan Freeman though. Kind of sneaks up on you. That's pretty good.
Fuck, that dude is so funny.
Oh yeah,
I can't get over it. That dude fucking makes me. Dude, I don't know how many times I've been on like the freeway or something, stuck in traffic, looking like a moron, laughing at what the fuck that guy has to say. I know I had to look like an idiot in my car.
Dude, I mean, between all
talking
of us,
to myself and laughing.
Yeah, my laugh is the most annoying on the pod. I'm always laughing on the pod, and it's a wreck. But it's definitely a hoot. It definitely is. As funny as you're laughing, it's all of us bring something to the table that makes it a great cohesive team. But it's hilarious, man. Frank is a hoot.
But all right, well, it's good, guys. I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat tonight. It was a lot of fun. It was a fantastic episode. I'm always glad to see our all the new people we had in chat tonight, plus all our regulars. It was a good time. I love when you guys are interactive. A great show tonight. If this is your first time finding us and you just stumbled into us on YouTube, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. If you listen to this on your audio form, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment and review. It helps us in the standings and analytics of things. But yeah, you can find us on all of your podcasting platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, Google Play Music. Pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, you'll find us there. I definitely want to thank Corban for coming on and joining us again tonight and being such a good sport and the crazy, crazy show that is the Absolute Geek Podcast. Definitely go check out Comic Playground, guys. It's been fantastic getting to know him and talk to him, and we can't wait to have him back. But for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
Always coming back. And again, thank you, Corban. Guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next Friday night.